Hi guys, sorry we're running late. We are having a change around. We are going to be having Howard Petrie on our show tonight. Hi,
Hi,
Karen.
Karen. She took us out off.
Oh, she's gone again. Yeah, so we're going to be having Howard Petrie. How are you guys doing? Hi guys, sorry we're running late. So we're just trying to get.
Just going to wait for Howard to come on.
Better.
That's Howard.
Yes.
There is. We'll just bring Howard Petrie on.
Hi, Howard.
Hi, Howard.
How you doing? I'm supposed to be March 28th, and they said it was February. And I was just talking to Karen, and I said it's the 28th today, and I thought it was March already. That's how far off I am.
Yeah, there's been a change of plan.
That's all right. I'll do both. I mean, I'll do this today, and we'll come on a month because I'm really not prepared today. But I'm just jumping in because y'all look like y'all needed some help. And that's what we do in a paranormal community. I don't have my makeup on. Oh, I'm doing great. I don't have my makeup on. I don't look pretty. You know, I've been working in the yard a little bit.
That's right.
But how y'all been doing? How's the weather over in the United Kingdom?
Yeah, the weather's been really good. Sun's been out shining.
It's been
it's been a lovely weekend.
Excuse me. Well, that's great.
Quite lucky, really.
It's about 81 degrees where we're at, and it's almost like subtropical. You know, it's nice. It's pretty. But Mother Nature over here she's bipolar. She doesn't know what she wants to do. 1 minute it's like 20 degrees, and then the next day it's like 90 degrees. So you don't know what's going to happen here in Louisiana.
Yeah, it's a bit like that in the UK.
So what y'all want to talk about? What y'all want to talk about? You let me know, and I'm here to help.
It's literally all about you, really.
Let's go. Let's talk about.
Should we go for paranormal? You happy with that?
That's fine. I could talk about all kind of stuff. Heck, I could talk about goodness. Talk about the paranormal, or whatever.
When was your last place that you investigated?
Oh, okay. Great. I could think of it was a couple of weeks ago. Matter of fact, I've actually had an attachment from the last place we investigated. It was about 3 weeks ago. We went to a place called the Devil's Woodyard. It's a cemetery that's located. I mean, this place is out in the middle of nowhere. It's an old cemetery, very old. As in United States wise, anyway. I mean, I know in the UK and places in Europe are much older, but for us, it is an old cemetery. The peculiar part about this cemetery, I didn't notice it right away, but about 90% of the graves in the cemetery were of infants and children under the age of 1. Didn't know what was the deal about that. I was really upset about that. And the one grave that I finally came across was of a woman. She was approximately 35 years old. And here of course, we have the headstones. Because this is further up north in Louisiana. And they're buried in the ground here and up north. They had a headstone, but they also had a footstone for some reason. And that's unusual. I don't see many footstones here. And on the footstone, it said Mother. So when I walked past it and I said, hello, Mother. And all of a sudden there was a wave that hit me, and it was just massive headaches. I mean, I was just sitting there just so intense with these headaches were so intense. And I walked away. It got that bad. I had to walk away. And I came back and I looked at it and nothing. And then when I said, hello, Mother, again, it hit me again. And it was, you can actually, we had it recorded. We had it on film where you can see it. You can actually see me go backwards. That's how hard she hit. And didn't think it was going to be like that with her. And I apologized to her. I said, I'm only there, to hear your story, or if you want to, you need help, we're here to help you. And, just trying to talk to her. And every time I would talk to her, she just kept hitting me. And I got to the point where I said something to her I shouldn't have never said, because I felt like she was attacking me. And I just got angry with her, and I just said something I shouldn't have said. And for 5 days afterwards, she followed me, and she attached herself to me, and I stayed with a massive headache for 5 days. I called in a Reiki master. I called in a shaman to bless me, to try to get rid of this thing. I have a voodoo priestess now. She helps me because I do believe in voodoo. We in Louisiana. Oh yeah, voodoo. Yes, that's big. I called. I haven't talked to her about it yet, about the situation I was in, but I did finally get a Catholic priest to come out, and he anointed me. He blessed me and everything, and it finally disappeared. But while I was going through this, I had my co-host, and she's like my little sister, Jennifer S. Lee. She's a intuitive medium. She's a remote viewer. She's also a cold case and missing person investigator. And she read me and everything. She gave me a reading and everything. And she told me what this woman wanted. She wanted me to help her find her child. And it was because of that cemetery was with so many children in it. Maybe that's what she wanted me to do. I don't know, because I got rid of her too quick. I mean, in a way, I jumped the gun. I didn't look and did my research about her. But when you're hurting that bad, you just want to get away from it. You just don't want to be in pain like that anymore. But
No.
That's awful. I've only had one ever experience where something's attached to me, and that was horrible. That lasted again the same time, about 4 or 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was terrible. I had the low mood, the general depression, I would call it.
Yeah.
It just wasn't me. Normally I'm quite upbeat and quite happy, and but I just wasn't myself for that period of time.
Well, when they get you, they get you. I mean, they put the claws into you. They don't want to leave you. I mean, it was like a headache. Mm-hmm. It almost. I was unfortunate to contract West Nile virus a few years ago, and being in Louisiana, we have the mosquito. Yeah, that's our state bird. You have different birds that represent the area. That's our state bird, is the mosquito. And and these things, I got bit, and I wound up contracting the West Nile virus, and it's almost like meningitis, and it's that bad. And you run fevers of 104 plus. I mean, I stayed like that for 2 weeks, dehydrating and everything. I was in the hospital, but that was the kind of pain you was actually feeling. It was like in the back of your neck, a stabbing feeling, and it wouldn't go away. It would not go away. Some interesting places I've investigated. Of course, one of the most famous places, Myrtle's Plantation. Been there, done that, got the shirt. I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend it as if you wanted to go there and get a lot of personal experiences. As for evidence, capturing evidence, your evidence can be easily could be easily tainted because of the activity that's happening there, human activity, not paranormal. They have a big restaurant in the court now. They give tours of the place every hour and on hour. Matter of fact, right where my door was, my bedroom door, they would ring this huge school bell. And that's when they get everybody to come to the tour, and they would just walk through the place. And this is going on till about 10 o'clock at night, and it gets aggravating. As for personal experiences, I've actually seen 2 full body apparitions there. There were some soldiers. They were in a tree line that was actually in a field behind the plantation. They stuck me, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I hate dolls. Any kind of porcelain doll, that's freaky to me. I just don't like dolls. That and clowns.
No, I'm not a doll fan.
I hate them things. Clowns and dolls, especially a doll clown.
Yeah, I'm not a fan
no.
of clowns.
You like dolls, don't you?
Yeah,
You're
I'm not
more
a fan of
dolls.
clowns.
Oh, just give me a shovel and I'll show you what to do with a doll. I'll dig a big hole and we just bury it and throw some gasoline and then we'll burn it, and that's what I'll do with one of them porcelain dolls. I hate them things. Those things are evil. But they stuck me in the dolls room. I was investigating with a friend of mine. Well, he's like my brother. He's Gabriel Herrera. We was in the doll room, and if you don't know Gabe, he has his English he speaks English very well, but he still has that Spanglish that comes in with his English. And if you understand, if you know Gabe, when he asks you to do something for him, you know he's serious about it. So he already knows that I don't like dolls, and we had to get back to the thing. There's one doll in the room. It has no eyes whatsoever.
Oh,
it sits on the mantle, and rumor had the story of this doll is when you touch it, and you touch this doll. By the end of the night, when you wake up the next morning, the doll will be in bed with you. Don't know how it gets there. It just makes its way into the bed with you. And this room,
that might.
Yeah.
That's not Gabe playing a joke.
No. Well, Gabe asked me. He knows how I hate dolls, and this was the children's room. It was little girls. The story of Myrtle's Plantation. It's haunted by Chloe, who's the slaves. She was there. She was a slave servant, and then of course the mother and the children. It was girls where Chloe fell out of graces with the plantation owner, and she wanted to it was a birthday party, and she wanted to get back into good graces. And her thinking was, well, if I make them sick, I know what caused them to be sick, and so I can actually help them to become better. So she gave them, she ground up some oleander from the oleander tree, which is very toxic. And she ground it up and she baked it into a cake. But she put too much, and it wound up killing the mother and the children. Well, anyway, this room is haunted by the children. So Gabe tells me, he looks at me and he says, Howard. I said, what? He says, get in the closet. I said, what? Get in the closet. Well, there's a dark closet, and this thing is pitch black, and then they got a little place where you can set in there and everything. And he gives me a ball, make the ball move. So I said, okay. So I'm sitting there, I'm trying to coax these spirits to make this ball to move, and it wouldn't move. I mean, all around me on film, you can see these orbs and everything, and they're floating all around me. Even had a little truck next to me on the bench. It has a little bench in there, and I try to get them to move the truck. And being little girls, they don't play with trucks. They play with balls and dolls and all that other stuff. So well, the ball didn't move, but in the closet, you see an orb hit me on the arm. And to me, I didn't realize it right then and there. This was after the fact. After the fact is that when I was in there, it felt like a bug crawling on your arm, just lightly crawling on your arm. If you ever have a bug crawl on your arm, it feels kind of weird. It's very sensitive. And then I felt 3 little cold fingers touch me on my arm. And at that same time, we went back and coincided with the film. I mean, with the story. When I was yelling, you can hear me ask Dave, are you catching this? Do you see anything? At that same time, that's when you see the orb sitting on my arm. So actually, it's a lot of personal experiences there.
Yeah.
So that was one place we investigated. Another place was actually in Vicksburg, Mississippi, during the War of the States, the Civil War of the United States. You had the North and the South. Grant bombarded Vicksburg. He shut them down. He isolated Vicksburg, and what he did, he was bombed. He was trying to get Vicksburg to surrender, and it was a hard battle. And the place we went to was actually went to the battlefield. We got some things at the battlefield, but the place we stayed at, the bread and breakfast, was called the Duff Green Mansion. And what Mr. Duff did was he actually made his house. He wanted to save his house. It's a beautiful plantation home. He wanted to save his house. So during the war, he made it a hospital, and he took in Southern. He took in Southern and he took in Northern troops. So you had the North, they were bombing Vicksburg, but they wouldn't hit his mansion, because if they hit his mansion, they would be killing their own troops. So what he did, he actually put them in the attic, the Northern troops. Being in the South like we are, in that attic, it might be 90 degrees outside, but it's 120 degrees in that attic. And so he basically put them up there to suffer. That's what he was doing. It was like 1, 2, 3. I say it's 3-story building, but with the attic makes it a 4-story building mansion. The second story was actually where they did the surgeries and stuff. The bottom floors were, I guess, just open for like, it was a Southern style home. You have a big sitting room. You have a big dining room. And I mean, these things were huge downstairs. I mean, this was a huge place. The story is that they had a little girl in the house. Her name was Annie Duff. And she died of a sickness or something. I don't remember exactly what. But she died at about the approximately age was like 5 or 6 years old. And we caught images. We actually caught her in a full body apparition peeking around a doorway. She just kept popping her head around the corner, just checking us out. And we caught her. I mean, it was first time we ever caught something like that on film. And it was extraordinary. I mean, she would follow us all through the place. She was a curious little girl. She wanted to know who was in her house. And that's what she was doing. She was following us and just seeing what we were doing, but she wouldn't get close enough for us to actually capture her anyway else. But she would touch our REM pod. We had a doll where we would touch a doll and the doll would light up and everything. And she tried talking to us a couple of times, but that was about it. Now, the story goes with that place. There's people that have what they call a rose garden, where there's roses and everything buried. But what they would do during the Civil War, when you came in and you got shot in the arm, 9 times out of 10, they'll cut your arm off or they'll cut your leg off, and they just throw it out the window. And what they were doing is they were throwing it out the window into a hole, and they would just bury the limbs right there. And there's bodies buried there. There's limbs and everything. And we had one of our team that was actually taking a video of the outside by the rose garden. And you could see the window. You could see the reflection of the of what was coming back. You could see the back of the roses and everything. And in the reflection, you see someone walking between that person and the window. Now, it's like me looking at you, but you're not there, and you just see the window, but you can see your reflection of a man with a Confederate hat. It was a big one of these big, you could tell it's a Confederate hat, these big brim hats, walking in front of the window. You know, he was a ranking officer. So we thought that was great. They also had some pictures of with a FLIR camera where this person, he died. He was a one-legged general. He died in the house. And you could see him sitting in a chair. He loved this chair for some reason, sat by this window all the time. And you could see him sitting in this chair, and you could just see that one leg hanging over the side. And, like I said, there's a lot of stuff that I've actually investigated. So I've done all that. The best place I've ever investigated, well, I have never investigated this place, but I do know it's haunted, is my home.
Yeah, they do say not to investigate your own house, didn't they?
You never investigate your own home, but I've had investigators come in, and they all tell me that it is extremely active. It's you can see energy waves on film. they showed me pictures. It looks like someone took a handful of Skittles and just threw them in my yard, all the orbs and stuff like that you could see. They got pictures of a portal opening up in my property. There's something on top of my roof. It looks evil. It's been trying to get in here for years, I guess. I don't know. My daughter passed away in my home back in October of 22nd, 2019. She was in her second trimester. And I've actually seen her 4 times, 3 full body apparitions, and one time she was just peeking around the corner, just like I'm looking at you. That's how solid she was. She comes and goes. She comes in, and I think she's just checking on me. But my property, we did the research on the property, and we can date back the property all the way to the War of Independence, when the British was here. They had a British colony here at one point in Louisiana, and then they were, of course, they had to battle with the states up north. Here they were battling the Spaniards, Spain, and the British were trying to actually come in through the south and flank the United States up from the south, and they were going through Spanish territory, and so they established a colony here, and the Spanish didn't like that too much, and they had a nice little battle here. But there was a British colony here at one point, so they had some major battles here. Then they also had the American Civil War that was actually fought through here. We still dig up cannonballs and stuff like that in the yard. And the rivers around here are full of schooners and stuff like that from that war. This was also a plantation at one point, sugarcane plantation. We have actually remnants of the old sugar mill that's about maybe a mile away from me. But this was all, we don't know if there was slave quarters here at one point or not. Some people say they were, but when you had slaves and stuff like that, you would bury them someplace, and evidently they're buried around here somewhere. We just don't know where. And then the biggest thing is that this is all on Indian burial ground. I can go into the woods and actually look at mounds and where Indians are buried. So you just don't mess with them. But who's to say when they develop the land that there's actually, they knocked over a couple of these mounds or something. So I have all that going on in one spot.
Yeah, that's a lot to deal with. So how did you become aware that it was haunted originally? Were you getting lots of little like noises or? You don't even. It first started off like small stuff. After my daughter passed, I mean, I always did see shadows and things of that nature, and I just blew it off. I was in the paranormal field before. All around being my time in the paranormal world, being an investigator, must be about 30 years. I've been doing this for about 30 years now. I did it for a time, and then I got married, and my wife didn't like it too much. And that was my first marriage. In my second marriage, my ex-wife actually sold all my paranormal equipment. So I was upset with that. She left me. She took everything and she sold it. And, that's another whole
really?
That's another haunting in itself. but it started off where the shadows became increasingly more. And of course, when you're dealing in investigations, the first thing that usually happens is your equipment batteries were drained quick. Things, you start seeing things more without just at the corner of your eye, and stuff like it. Well, it started off where I started seeing more activity that way, shadows and things of that nature. These massive distorted orbs. I don't know what other way I could put it. It wasn't an orb like the classic orb. These things were like distortions. It would be like a ball of energy, and it was just it's clear, and you can actually see behind it's wavy and looking. It's like looking through water. and you just see these things floating around. We started. Well, I knew when my daughter was here because I have my parents live close by, and I have both of my brothers live close by, and my daughter would walk back and forth to visit her, my family. And I bought a brand new vehicle, brand spanking new. I mean, this was first time I noticed it was in. This was a 2019 Buick, GMC Terrain. And I mean, brand new. When I bought it, it only had like 8 miles on the odometer. For the first month, when I went outside to start the car up, and it wouldn't start because there was no juice left in the car. It completely drained my battery on my car. I brought it to the dealership, and they said they've never seen anything like this before, ever. The battery was just completely drained. There was no way recharging. We'd had to re-acid it and everything else. It started happening here with that. And then my parents, their car batteries were starting to drain. So we figured that's my daughter walking back and forth. She needed enough energy to walk back and forth, to where she had to get to. Then we started hearing some disembodied voices. I could be in one room and my fiance could be in another room, and it sounds like I can hear a mumbling. And I'll walk in and say, "Did you say something?" I didn't. She's like, "I didn't say anything." And I thought that was you talking to me. Then we started hearing a music box playing, these old music boxes that you would wind up, and you hear the little ding dong and music in it. I don't own a music box. Don't own a music box, but it would play. We heard that on 3 different separate occasions. Then. Let's see what else we had. I walked into the kitchen one night. I've gotten so used to the activity in the house. When I see something happen, I just fix it. I walked into the kitchen one night. I was just thirsty. This is like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I wanted something to drink, walking towards the refrigerator, walking in the hallway, and I looked down the hallway, and I walked in. Just as I stepped into the kitchen table chair pulls out, and it just faces me. Just like that. Faces me. I looked at it and I said, "Okay." And I just went back, pushed the chair underneath the table, and then went and got my ice and my drink and went right back to bed like it was nothing there. I've gotten scratched in my house. My son's gotten scratched in the house. I've gotten pushed. You feel cold spots. Let's see what else has happened in this place. This is so much activity. Oh, the dogs. We have dogs, different breeds. And they will all sit by my daughter's door and just watch the door for no reason. Let's see, we've had things will go missing, and we put them in one place, and then in the house, and we'll find them out on our front porch or on our back porch, or like, I didn't put this here, and distinctively where. It's certain things like your keys and your wallet and stuff. You will put them in a certain place, and where to go get them. It's almost instinctively where to go get them. And oh yeah, I've walked in a house and put my stuff down and come back to go look for it, and it's not there. I found them in the refrigerator before.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that's the kind of stuff that happens in my home. I've asked people, matter of fact, people also tell me I should rent my daughter's room out and let people stay in it. When she passed, I did not change her room whatsoever. I'll go in there and I'll tidy up, I'll dust and things like that, but it's left the same way she left it. And it's because I'm trying to keep her memory alive through me. But I'm not going to do that. I will invite, friends and stuff. If they want to come over and sleep in her room, that's fine if they want to experience it. But as in renting it out and stuff like that, no, that's not going to happen. No. But that's basically. But I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, like, with having this COVID and stuff, I think that's ramping up a lot of the activity as well.
Oh yes, emotional. Right now, you have people are really stressed out from staying home. We're as a society, as human beings, we're very sociable animals. And being confined like this is not good for us. So it's actually brought that emotional level high. You know, it's like trapping a tiger and putting it in a cage and just walking away from it and let it stay there. Just throw it some food and water and there you go. That's what it feels like to a lot of these people. Suicide rates have went up in the United States substantially. Domestic violence has went up substantially. Divorces have went up. I mean, it's, I don't know about in the United Kingdom, but here it's gotten as bad as it can get. So yeah, I believe that has a lot to do with it. That's why when we do investigations now, we do a lot of cemeteries because it's outside, it's out in the yard. We have actually, we're going to be doing our first residential March 6th and the 13th, where there's this place is actually on where the Spanish and American War were fought through there. Also, right down the road is where they have the actual Trail of Tears in the United States, where we basically marched. It was a forced march of the Indian nations, and a lot of these Native Americans died on this trail. And the activity in these people's property, it's not their home, it's their property that has so much going on it that it's phenomenal. So it's an emergency case. Their daughter, she's been sleeping on the couch. This has been going on for quite some time. It was just brought to us really. But she's been sleeping on her living room couch for 6 years. She will not stay in her room at all. So this is sort of an emergency situation. So that's why we're going in and actually doing this case for them.
Yeah.
So
out as well.
I'm sorry.
Karen has asked a question. I can get it. There we are. What's the most historic location you have investigated?
The city of New Orleans. You can't get no more historical, and everything's historical in that city. You should ask me what would be my dream investigation, but what's your dream one? The Laurie Mansion in the French Quarter. I don't know if you ever heard of that place. Very, very, it's some spooky stuff. It's closed. Actually, they won't let nobody investigate it. There's very few people are able to go in, and you have to have strict permission. There's strict guidelines you have to have and everything else, but it's been closed down to the public or just for anybody to investigate for a long time. The story behind that is it's truly amazing. You had Madame LaLaurie. This woman here would kill her slaves. She would actually murder her slaves. Even though you was a slave owner, it was illegal for you to kill your slaves. Okay, you know, they didn't have a status of being human or non-human, but it was property, and it's just something you just didn't do. She would kill them. She would do these awful mutilations to them. She would break bones and reattach them certain angles, make them look disformed. She would, she's done so many atrocities. It's unbelievable. Well, she had to get rid of the bodies some way without somebody seeing it. And you're talking about in the middle of a city. And so what she would do with her slaves, she would bury them in the walls. She would bury them in the floorboards. She would bury them all over the place inside the home. Well, the place caught on fire, and they walked in. The fire brigade got into the home, and chained to the stove. There was a slave that she was chained. That's what her job was, to cook. And she was the actual one. She just couldn't take it no more, and she caught the place on fire. She literally burned the place down by the stove. When the fire brigade went in, the first thing that they noticed was a man. He was chained to a wall, and his face was completely gone, you could see like these maggots and things crawling. They thought he was dead until he started moaning. They started getting people out and everything, and of course there was a chase. She came out just like you see in the movie. She just barreled out of her garage or her area parking it with horses and carriage, and she fled across Lake Pontchartrain to the North Shore in Mandeville, where they don't know where, if she stayed in Louisiana or she fled to Paris again. But inside the house, there was, I mean, there was this one little girl, she was chained to her vanity. And her vanity, this little girl was on, her only job was to brush her hair. And she had long, beautiful hair because she got it brushed all the time. And whenever the little girl would come across a knot, depending on the size of the knot, she would beat this girl with the brush. If it got to the point where it was too painful, she would cut a finger off or a toe.
Oh,
you know. So this is the type of things this woman did. But she had a torture chamber upstairs. She would torture her slaves. It was an actual torture chamber with hooks and knives and all kind of things and stuff like that. It's also said that it was also said that she would bathe in blood. I don't know. I mean, that's just stories, that part. I don't know how factual that it was, but she would bathe in blood, supposedly the blood of her slaves and stuff like that. That's what she would do, that to make herself stay young looking. Because we also in New Orleans have a big vampire cult. And believe it or not, we interviewed with a vampire, and it wasn't Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt or nobody. It was actual vampire. And they're quite unique people. They do actually a lot of help. They do a lot of work in the community. They do a lot of help in the community. A lot of community events. They donate a lot of time, money, and stuff like that. They're really good people. Yeah, that's the story. That would be my dream investigation, as in locally. Internationally, I'd love to go to Ireland. I would love to go to Ireland.
Yes, we really want to go to Ireland.
Yeah.
Still not been over there yet. I think Leap Castle is one of them that we want, the big one we want to do. It's a place called Leap Castle.
Well, it's not so much. I'm Cajun. I'm French Cajun, and but my fiance, she's Irish, and learning a lot from her. I've also learned that you don't get her mad. That for some reason she doesn't argue back with you. For some reason, I mean, as a Cajun, we're very passionate people. We like to argue. We like to. There's always an argument in something. We like to debate, argue. We do it all. She doesn't do that. Now, if she gets upset, she's not going to argue. You know, she's not going to throw nothing at you. She's not. But when you go out to your car, you want to check to see if there's any bombs or anything underneath the thing. Because she will get even with you. You know, she won't argue, but she will get even with you. So then, you know, that's why I've learned the Irish ways. You know, okay, that's fine. So I'm a loving person when it comes to her. I try to be anyway.
Stay on the right side.
Yeah, I want to keep my limbs and things of that nature. But yeah,
I mean, there's so many places we want to come over. We want to come over to America. There's lots of places over there we want to go see. Because our knowledge of America is not as good as some. I mean, we don't know a lot of the places, but there's some that's well known, obviously. But there's a couple that we wouldn't know about because our knowledge is not that good.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking about actually. I have 2 podcast shows right now. One is Paranormal Swamp Talk, and that's through the Paranormal United Network, and I also have another one called the Petri Dish. That's through the Paranormal United Network also. And I'm talking with Karen right now. Possibly I'll be bringing one over to your platform. I might have a show with y'all, you know, not on your channel. We're still talking
Oh,
about it.
that'd be awesome.
Awesome.
Then bringing something from the United States over to the UK, you know, and try to see, you know, I'll try to tap into that UK audience y'all have and get more people to watch the, our platform over there. But I'm jostling around with a few ideas right now, and hopefully that'll work out. Just got to find a good co-host. I already told Karen who I'd like to have, and hopefully I can get her on board with me.
Yeah, definitely.
Be good.
But I've also got some ideas for show names. Have you ever seen that movie called The French Connection with Gene Hackman?
No.
It's an old movie. It's an old movie. It's called The French Connection. I was going to actually call this one The Cajun Connection because Cajun is French. You just throw out the French and make it Cajun and bring a little bit of United States over to the UK, especially New Orleans. Give it a New Orleans flair, you know. We could talk about all kinds of things and their food and everything else. Food, I love food. I do love food. Maybe we have cooking shows, you know. We do some cooking shows or something.
You should hear all our conversations. They're all about food.
Oh man.
Food. I was talking to you about the what was it called? What was that food we were speaking to about?
The American food, wasn't it? Saying that we've not tried it.
But it was the same as what we have over here, which was the
potato.
Oh, what they called? Help me out. Croquettes. I said we had them. They're the same, but ours were called croquettes.
Croquette. What is a croquette? Tell me what a croquette is. I'm not familiar with
basically
that.
like
that deep fry
barrel shaped potato
fry.
Oh, tater tots.
That's the one. Yeah, that's it.
That's the one.
Oh my lord!
You called them tater tots.
Yeah, oh my god.
That's croquettes.
That's the first thing you do. You get off the plane, you find yourself a Sonic, and you just go get you a mess of tater tots. Oh, them things are good. Oh, yes,
Stay away
indeed.
from the Taco Bells.
Taco Bell. Well, no, if you ever want to get cleaned out, you know, that's the best place to go. You know, never eat Taco Bell on an investigation. No. No. Don't do that. Don't eat Taco Bell. No, not on an investigation. No. then you're fighting a whole different other devil.
Oh god.
Yeah, but I mean, being that it's from New Orleans, you have a lot. I mean, that's why I don't understand people. They want to go to Waverly Hills or Penhurst, or they want to go to all these other haunted locations, and that's just one location. That's just one location. Winchester Mansion or something like that. You come to New Orleans, and there's everything.
Sorry, yeah, carry on.
Okay, you know, when you go to New Orleans, there's everything that's haunted. I mean, there's not a rock you can't kick, and there's not a story behind that rock. I mean, there's everything. Everything's the city's been burned down. New Orleans is burned down twice. You had multiple cholera outbreaks and scarlet fever, and it killed thousands of people here. And then when you come to the city, it's not so much location. It's more, what's the definition of a haunting? A haunting is usually where something traumatic has happened, or something that traumatized the person, and a traumatized death, something that they have unfinished business, or it's something of that nature. New Orleans there's murders every day in the streets of New Orleans. That's where your haunted locations are at, is on the street. During these outbreaks, these cholera and diseases like that, they have pictures where they would stack people like wood in the middle of the street, bodies on top of bodies. You know, you had major wars that was fought through here because we're a major port. You have, oh goodness, Is there's so many things that happened to this city that it's just the whole entire city. Katrina, that's the most recent one. We had 2,500 plus people that died during Katrina. I've seen pictures of people just floating in the street. And what you would do is you would actually catch them or try to catch these people that were dead and tie them to a post so they wouldn't float out into the river or out into the Gulf, you know, through the river into the Gulf, so they can claim the bodies. It's just, I can tell you a story where I went to a good friend of mine's house. He was worried about his grandmother, and she lived down in the lower 9th Ward, and which is Chalmette, is St. Bernard Parish. We have parishes here instead of counties. We went to his grandmother's house and opened up the door. We was able to break the door in, or actually break it out, because there was furniture against the door. And we found his grandmother laying on the floor, and she was been there for so long that we had to actually cut the carpet around her to get her out, because she done fused with the carpet. Ooh. I mean, there's so many tragedies that's happened here, that it's the whole city. You can actually feel the energy when you walk through the streets of New Orleans. The energy.
Wow. That's a place to go, isn't it?
Oh yeah. And then it's not just, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, when you walk into like a building with energy, that's enough, let alone walking through like a street or a place. You know, that must be a higher energy as well.
Like I said, the energies here are they're so extreme that you can, even if you're not psychic, you still can feel it. Because we have a mixture of cultures here. It's not just French. If you think of New Orleans, you think of Cajuns and stuff. No, it's not just that. We have a large, it's the French Quarter. It's actually Spanish influenced architect. You have French, you have Spanish, you have German. You wouldn't think German. We have Oktoberfest here, believe it or not. During World War II, we had, when we captured Nazi or German troops, they would send them here. We had prison camps here from overseas that they would send them here. You have Irish, a lot of Irish. Oh goodness, you had Italians. Oh, Italians. Oh, they make the best pastries too. Oh my Lord. I'm just thinking about that stuff. Dobash cakes and stuff. Oh my Lord. That's some good stuff.
I could live in it actually. Quite happy.
Oh, if you love sweets, that's the place to go. Oh my, king cake. And we just had Mardi Gras. Of course, with COVID, for the rest of the world, Mardi Gras was closed for the rest of the world here. But as for local, no, we had Mardi Gras. I mean, it don't matter. We're going to have our Mardi Gras. But I seen that you had somebody ask a question, something about, and that's what I was reading on your little thing at the bottom there. If I've ever been to Bob, Mackey's. I've ever been to Mackey's. Winchester.
Mackey's.
No, I've known.
Winchester, and have you been to Bobby Mackey's?
Winchester, I'd like to go to. I've gotten invited. Matter of fact, we have a person on our team that who knows someone that's owns, is like a curator or something there, and they trying to arrange for us to go there and investigate. And as for Bobby Mackey's, I've never been there personally, but I do have a lot of friends that have been there, and I've gotten reports like some of them it's like a dead cell, and some people tell me it's very active. So it depends on what time. It's just like any investigation you go to. It depends if it's active or not at that time. So
yeah, I was just about to say that actually. There's some really good places over here, but sometimes they can be really flat. Like we've done the ancient ramen. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
I'd love to take a tour. I'd love to go to the UK and just show me the haunted spots. I'm the guy that when you go into a haunted location, you can find the worst place that it is in that place in a haunted location and don't tell me nothing. Well, you can tell me the whole story. I don't care. 17 people died in this one room. and okay, just shut the door and turn the light off and let me stay in there for a while, and I'll let you know. You know, I'm not.
Yeah.
You won't see me come screaming and running and anything. I just live for that stuff. I mean, that's what I'm the guinea pig, I guess you could say. Stick me in there and I'll find it.
That's what we're like.
Yeah, we like the lone vigils. We do that quite often.
Shut me in a room on my own, turn the lights off.
Like the 30 strive we have over here.
Yeah.
Again, we separated in that. Des was downstairs, I was upstairs, and we've done lots of little lone vigils in the bedrooms on my own. And Des was down in the coal shed.
A lot of people say,
and a lot of people have had a lot of bad negative things happen in the coal shed.
I'm
Put me in there.
The person that will go right. Yeah, put me in there. Let's see what happens. You know, I need to see it for myself as well.
We had a show. It's called The 13th Dimension, and this has to pertain. I believe it's the UK, London. Yeah. We had a show. It's called The 13th. We have a show called The 13th Dimension. That's with Jeremy Summerall, Jeremy York, Tim and Crystal Kohler, and Scott, and they were able to name Jack the Ripper. We gave you a name. It's through DNA evidence.
I think you mentioned that because that was on. Was that on the one when you interviewed Karen, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
We actually was able to have that. They named them. They actually named them. So if y'all interested in that, I mean, you might want to get in touch with Jeremy and them, or I'm friends with the gentleman on Facebook who wrote the book, and it was his something to do with a shawl, and they had DNA evidence on it and stuff like that, and they were able to analyze the DNA evidence, and they actually named Jack the Ripper, traced it back to his family and all. So that's something that it was a big mystery for years and years and years. I mean, from hundreds of years. So that's something. But
we've done the tour in London. In London, they do a tour called
that was quite an interesting tour.
And you go around all the streets. They show you all the streets where it happened and stuff, and it's very, very interesting.
Yes.
I really wasn't prepared for this show, but like I am coming on. I'd like to come back on March 28th. I think we already scheduled an interview with that. I'll be more prepared.
That would be good.
And I can get more. I mean, I'll have a lot more information for y'all to share with y'all. This is just some things I'm just touching on, that my experiences and stuff like that, and what I'm doing and who I am as a investigator and all that. I am an ordained minister. I'm a pastor. I'm a paranormal investigator, and I'm a demonologist.
Wow.
My mentor, and I'll yell his name out there. I don't care. He knows. He's probably laughing if he sees this. Is Carl L. Johnson. I don't know if you know Carl Johnson. Very big. He's been doing this for it's close to 48 years in the demonology. He's actually worked with Ed and Lorraine Warren. I don't know if you know familiar with Ed and Lorraine Warren. Have you ever seen the movie?
I've heard of them, yes.
Okay. Have you ever seen the movie Annabelle?
Name rings a bell.
Annabelle?
Yeah.
The Conjuring?
Yeah.
Amityville Horror?
Yeah.
That's all Ed and Lorraine Warren.
That
film, Amityville Horror, that was probably the only film that has actually made me jump out of my bed and run out of my door.
Yeah.
Because I remember going back when I first met Dave, actually, we were watching it in my mum's house, yeah. And my bed was behind like a closet door kind of thing, but it wasn't used. So my bed was in front of it, so you couldn't open the doors. And we were in the middle of watching Amityville Horror, and you noticed the door was open, didn't you? Yeah, I shot out of that bedroom. I never watched that film again.
The only film that I've ever really gotten spooked with that I've still kind of cringe at today, and it's held its value to me anyway, is The Exorcist, the original Exorcist.
The original.
Yeah.
That's what got me into demonology. Actually I was interested in, and when I finally started watching the old ghost hunter shows with Jason Hawes and Grant Wilson The old shows. Now they used to come on the old side. Carl was actually their demonologist on their shows. Now Carl's worked with Ghost Adventures. He's worked with just about anything that has to deal with the paranormal. He's done it. So he tutors me, and if I have problems or anything like that, I'll ask him, and he'll just, this is what you need to do, or we just talk just to talk. You know, he's a good friend. He is. He's a really nice guy, very knowledgeable, all around good guy, really. So if you ever get a chance to interview him, he's your man. I'll tell you. He would be someone excellent. He's really, I can send, look, after the show, I'll talk with Karen and give her the information. Maybe y'all can interview him. I mean, he's awesome.
That would be amazing.
He's very, like I say, he knows his stuff. I mean, he does know his stuff. One person that y'all have over in the UK that y'all don't show enough credit to, and y'all should have this person on your show. I love interviewing this person, to be honest with you. Is Karen. Karen. Believe it or not, you think she is an amazing woman. She's overcome so much adversity. I mean, with cancer and everything, and what she's done in her life, especially for the paranormal community. She's an amazing woman. She is. And
she really is.
Matter of fact, I had her on that show, and I'm having her come on my other show too. You know, she kind of twisted my arm.
We always say to her, you know, how much she's helped us, and
yeah, she's helped us massively.
She really has.
Through all this actually as well. Yeah, we got her to thank for all this.
And she's definitely.
If y'all want, if y'all want to come over into the United States and want to have, be a guest on my shows, just let me. I'll be more than happy to write y'all in and get y'all to come on a couple of my shows. That would be
amazing. Thank you.
And I don't know about the old Petri dish. I mean, that was a crazy show at one time. But Paranormal Swamp Talk, we'd love to have you. Petri dish, I'm sure that we'd love to have you on there. The new format, everything we have going on there. But my show, the Paranormal Swamp Talk, it's more focused on when you do an investigation and you're just sitting around with your buddies and you're just talking, might be drinking a beer. You might just want to just drink whatever, just after the investigation, just talking about what happened, or we just want to talk about life in general. That's what we do on that show. We might start off, I like to tell this to people, we might start off talking about you, but by the end of the show, we might be talking about what color underwear I'm wearing. I don't know. It's going to go all over the place. It's going to go all over the place. But
my kind of show.
Yeah, that's that kind of show, and it's fun. It's entertaining, and it's not. You learn. Also, the old Petri dish. That was a show. Oh Lord. I started off with the premise of that show, making it Jerry Springer meets the paranormal world. Now, have you ever seen Jerry Springer?
Jerry Springer is brilliant.
Yeah, well, imagine him doing paranormal interviews. Okay, that was the Petri dish. It was R-rated. It was R-rated. It was. I mean, it was thrown at me by the owner of Pun and another dear friend of mine. She was the one that actually came up with the name, the Petri dish. Then I was like, Petri dish, isn't that where you grow bacteria in? Yeah. But you could also say your last name's Petri and you're just dishing out stuff. I said, okay, that sounds good. It's a pun on that, playing a pun on that. But the original, I'll give you an example. The very first show that we did for the Petri dish, I didn't have a guest. I didn't have a topic. It was, you had to tune in and find out what it was going to be about. And that's where we came up with the slogan, the old TV slogan where it says, please stand by. If you've seen these old American shows, it says always, please stand by. You never knew what was going to happen. So that's our concept. And I still use it. So our very first show, it just hit me all of a sudden when we went live. I hit the live button And I said, what am I going to talk about? What are we going to talk about? Because it was three of us on the show that were hosting this thing, and nobody had any idea what we were going to do. And I said, I got a topic. Let's go. And boom, we hit live, and it was like, boom. Tonight we're going to talk about venereal diseases in the paranormal world. Okay. Our first topic was ghost crabs. Do you feel them after they're gone? If you know what that is, but it's not a pleasant topic to talk about. But we made it to where it was funny, it was vulgar, it was, and I was surprised I stayed on Facebook and was able to air as long as I did. I was the one that finally, I had to say, well, this is enough. I mean, I tried in December, right before we changed format, to actually bring some class to the show. And we was going for Christmas. I think we had a Christmas Eve show, and I was going to do a show about Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, the book, and we was going to analyze the book about the spirits in the book. There was 4 spirits rather than you think 3. There was 4. Bob Marley. He was a spirit, so he was actually 4. And we started off pretty good, and then it took an evil turn. It did, and we tried, but it wasn't nice. And then after that, first of the year, I came out with a thing. It was a banner, a promotion, and it said "New Year, new format." And now we do more investigative stuff on the Petri dish. We talk about hard-hitting subjects in the paranormal field. It's not so much paranormal, but it has to do with people in the paranormal field, as in investigators and things of that nature. Our first show on that was about autism in the paranormal field. Being a paranormal investigator, a lot of people in the world have autistic children or autistic adults in their family. So we started with that, and then we did a follow-up on that, and then we did a show about suicide in the paranormal field, because we had a young mother that came on. She told us a story about herself, and she had an autistic son who committed suicide. He felt like she was pregnant. She became pregnant again, and what made it so paranormal about this, that when she was pregnant, they did an ultrasound, and she was they did the first one. There was only 1 baby, and this is after her son committed suicide. And it was so sad, I actually cried during the show. They did an ultrasound, and was 1 baby, and then after her son committed suicide, they were worried about her and the stress that she was under, and they wanted to do another one. And then she had 2 babies in her stomach and her uterus. And you can actually see 2 separate babies in there. One of them was actually waving. And they went back, and when she had the baby, when she was in labor, she only had 1 baby. The other baby disappeared.
Oh my goodness.
So that was that's documented. That's all documented. So that was we're thinking that it was her son protecting his future sister, making sure she was okay. So it was a very sad story. I mean, it was, and like I said, it did bring tears to my eyes. But we touched into that. We touched into, again, autism, and this time it was autism as in an autistic person that passes away. And do you take who you are as a person into the afterlife? And if you do, then as an autistic person, they should, they're set in their ways where they have certain things to do at certain times. And if they don't get their way, they get violent, or they'll get, and possibly that's why you have a lot of these, these activities where there's somebody who could possibly be autistic and they just don't understand,
Yeah.
So we like I said, we changed the format substantially on that show now. And I think it's doing a lot better. I mean, the show's actually ratings have really skyrocketed on that. But that's the kind of stuff I'm looking to bring to the UK and to keep paranormal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Keep
Awesome.
on chatting. So
Join the Keep family.
That's right.
Oh yeah. I'm trying. We're still working it out, and there might be some big things happening with Pun and hopefully with Keep and things like that. So we'll see what about that too. So we don't know. It's a lot of things being talked about. So
Excellent.
hopefully some great things.
Thank you very much for stepping in at short notice.
Yes,
yeah, because I was getting ready. I was getting ready to go feed pigs just a while ago. I got some pigs I got to go feed too. But but I'm looking forward to our next talk.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's on the 28th of March, isn't it? I think.
Yes. And
yeah,
the time has just flown by, as always. Always does when you're having fun.
Oh yes, always. How much time y'all have left? Or did y'all run over? Did y'all run over on time, or y'all still on time, or what? How much time do y'all have left?
Well, we have gone over, but
yeah, we've gone over a little bit.
Only by a little bit.
Oh wow,
we're happy. Better to be over than under.
Yes,
well, we just make it up for the time you lost in the beginning. How's that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we lost quite a lot of time there, didn't we? Yeah, amazing. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
So many stories and so much. I'm sure you've got planned and.
Oh yeah, I got a lot more to. I mean, like I said, we could talk a lot more about. I don't know how long your show is for, but I mean, is your show ending, or I mean, how much more you have left to go?
It usually goes on for about an hour.
It's usually an hour show, but obviously tonight because of the delay.
Yeah, we did have a bit of a delay.
There's no other show coming on after you.
No, we've got another show coming on.
There is one later.
11 o'clock tonight.
Okay, because I didn't want to get nobody else in trouble or cut in anybody else's show.
No.
Because I can keep going. I mean, we can keep going if you want to. If you want to cut it, that's fine too. Whatever this is your show. You tell me what you want to do.
We'll probably cut it in about. Well, we'll take it up to 10 past, and then we'll probably cut it then, just in case.
Okay. What's 10 past? What's 10 past? I got.
Sorry, I was going on the hours. We'll got till we'll just got till 30:30, and then.
Okay, so another 15 minutes.
From there.
About another
15 minutes. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
I mean,
go for it.
We did have another question actually.
Go for it.
Somebody asked.
This one.
Paul Rowlands. What is your opinion on the paranormal and what it really is?
What is my opinion on the paranormal on what now? Oh, I'm reading it. Hold on. Oh, and what it really is.
What it really is.
My opinion on the paranormal. Oh, that's a good question. I believe, okay, what we're living in right now as a being, this is just a shell. Who we are is what's inside of us, our spirit, our soul. It has to go somewhere. We're made of energy. I mean, it's been proven that's scientific that it's electrical. Everything in our bodies, you have an electrical system. You have a heart that actually what keeps that heart going. I mean, it's a muscle, but what keeps it going? It's all, and that makes us who we are. We have a soul. When we die or the body dies, the soul has to go somewhere. It doesn't just get depleted. Does it die with you, or like a battery, or does it move forward? And I guess as in the paranormal part of this, I guess it's to the individual's belief that if you die, some people do believe that you die, and that's it. It's nothing left.
Yeah.
Me personally, I believe when you die, you move forward. Some people have gods and things. I'm not going to get religious on you because different religions and things out there, I've learned that over the years. If you have God as a supreme being, it depends on your faith. You might go to heaven or you might go to hell. There's purgatory. There's so many outlooks on this thing. But as from what I've seen so far, you go to I think you become a greater part of something. It's, oh goodness. I believe I believe there's a heaven. I believe there's a hell.
Yeah.
I believe that when I die, I'll probably go to hell. The things I've done in my past. I want to be my hell. I've done already picked my hell. I want to be in a place where you get this giant table and the cupcakes just out of reach, and you just can't reach that cupcake. That's hell enough right there. You know, you can't reach it. And that would be my hell. But you know, it's just what level do I want to be on? do I want the level where I'm gonna sit? Do I want to be on next to that big fiery pit, you know, and with a nice view of the of Satan over in the corner? No, I don't know. I mean, that's if I go to heaven, I believe that you'll be with loved ones. As for personal experience, I think we go to different places. We go to a higher plane, but we're able to come back if we want to, and to see our families and to visit. Like I said, seeing my daughter 4 different occasions. I don't think she's bound here, but I think she just comes in and just checks on us, you know, because she loved us, and that's what my personal beliefs are on that part. If you,
I believe as well that energy never dies.
Right.
Energy keeps going. And
another thing I want to
die and we're born into someone else, I'm not too sure.
Reincarnation. I mean, there's a lot of people believe in reincarnation. I mean, that's fine. You can. I think there's an infinite amount of souls out there, and I think if you choose to, if you wanted to do that, maybe possible. I don't know. Like I said, that's not my belief. That you can come back if you want to as in reincarnated. Because you'd have a lot of people wanting to come back, and automatically, I mean, you would want to go back to your family. You know.
Yeah.
So what's the sense of? So why would you want to be reincarnated and go? And you can still have those memories if you're in another place, and you can always be reunited later, rather than come back and try to be reunited in the flesh. So that's what my belief is on that. As for evil and good in the world and stuff like that, my belief on that is that if you're trapped, if you're in this plane of, if you're here in spirit form in this plane of existence, if you're coming in as a spirit or whatever, a lot of people, when they contact us to go do an investigation on a residential or a historical site or anything, a business, the first thing they usually tell you is that the devil is here and it's in my bedroom, you know, and or something. I'm just giving you an example. It's automatically the devil. It's the demon. It's something to eat. You know, being in the paranormal field, I've actually seen maybe 1, maybe 2 cases that's possibly that was something satanic or something demonic. I think in the paranormal world, you have different degrees. It's depending on who's passed on. If the best way to put it is, if you're a good person in life, and if you don't move on, you're just going to be a good person in death. You know, you just be who you were. Now, if you're a butthead in life, guess what? You're going to be a butthead in death. So,
that's what I believe. And when it comes to all the negativity in the paranormal,
it's just an evil person.
Or any markings,
it's just an evil person.
I think the person was just an evil person.
Yeah.
I'm not sure on demons so much, but I think it was just a nasty person in real life.
Right. I mean, I do see where there's a lot of people might misconstrue that. I mean, that's just their way of lurching out at you. You know, there's to let you know that they're mad at you or something. You know. Then again, like I said, we did the thing about the autism. It could be that it's somebody there that, especially when you hear about places where you're doing renovations, and all of a sudden the activity picks up. Maybe that was someone who was autistic living in that home, and they just don't like the way you're making, because they don't like change. They do not like change. Autistic people do not like change. and they
No,
just
they
let
don't.
me know,
They don't.
you know, hey, I don't like this. You know, that's what they're doing. So that's my beliefs on
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
So,
And that, you know, it makes a lot of sense as well when you explain it more as well.
yeah.
Definitely makes sense. I agree.
More comments?
There isn't any more comments.
How about y'all? How about, do y'all have a personal question? I mean, y'all have anything that might just be were you wondering about the United States, or you wanted to know about what, you know, an opinion on something, or
Well, United States. There's loads of questions about United States, like all the different locations. There's so many.
Yeah, we would. I mean, we want to go to Alcatraz. I don't know if you've ever done that one.
no, I've heard of. I mean, there's places I've been all over just about the South. Further, I don't like the northern parts of the country too much. It's not. It's just that I don't like going up north. I mean, it's just a lot of driving, especially in the wintertime. You don't know if you're going to get snowed in or what. You know, it's just. I love the South. I love Louisiana. I love my heritage. I love here. I mean, that's it. It has a lot to offer here. Why would I want to go somewhere up north?
We definitely want to visit America and definitely do a tour one day.
I would love to do a tour of all the Italian pastries, bakery shops around here. That's what I'd want to do. I'd weigh about 900 pounds by the time the end of that tour was over with. I love I love to eat. God, I've gained so much weight since that my daughter's passing, but it's true. I just love. I love the lifestyle. I love here in Louisiana. There's a saying. Some people eat to live. We live to eat. I mean, there's so many great dishes and stuff like that. There's so many. Oh goodness, and I can cook too. I'll let you know. So I make a great housewife. I do. I
see pictures of donuts from America and they look amazing.
Pictures
like
of what?
Donuts. They just
donuts.
Yummy.
Oh, yeah.
Donuts.
Oh, I like them with a little touch of vanilla.
Yeah, from America.
Oh, I love it with that's fried bread. Try the beignets. Oh, whenever you come to New Orleans, try beignets. Oh my. They're square donuts basically. They're square little donuts, and they've used powdered sugar, and they dust it with powdered sugar, and you get you a nice cup of coffee with that, or a nice big cold glass of chocolate milk with that. Oh,
yes,
you
please.
just hurt yourself.
Is it a cup or a mug? Or a bowl?
That's some good stuff. That's good eating there. But I know how to cook a lot of French dishes. I know how to cook étouffée, alligator sauce piquant, gumbos, any type of gumbo you want, jambalaya, po' boys. Oh man, I can make all kind of po' boys. You name a sandwich, I can make it a po' boy.
Yeah.
My favorite. I love French fry po' boys. French fry po' boys are great. I love French fry.
Definitely worth coming over just for that, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Do you know what debris is? What they call debris? You get basically it's like a sauce. It's a gravy, beef gravy. It's got bits and pieces of roast beef and mixed with it. You pour it on potatoes or whatever, you know, gravy just like you eat anywhere else. But you fry up some chips. I guess that's what the term you use over there in the UK. Chips. We call them French fries here, but we call chips. You fry yourself up a bunch of that, and you get yourself a nice French bread, and then you gut it. You have to pull all that stuffing out of there. That's just taking up too much room. You know, get all that stuff clean. You want something just to hold that stuff together. And then, of course, you put your French fries in there, and you take that roast beef debris, and you sprinkle it all over the top of that stuff. You just drip it all over them French fries, and then you put you some tomatoes, lettuce, and pickle, whatever you like on the sandwich. Look, some mayonnaise, and you just cut that sucker, and just undo your pants and
it's making me hungry now.
It's
making me hungry now.
But yeah, I know how to cook. I do know how to cook. They call it Cajun Italian. And It's a lot of red sauces, red gravies. Oh goodness, I can cook. One concoction I made up is, I call it chicken stuffed, chicken stuffed pizza. And what it is
pizza. Wow.
Yeah, you take a boneless breast of chicken, you cut it in half, you stuff your chicken, a boneless breast of chicken, and you stuff it with some pesto, green pesto. You put you some mozzarella cheese in that, and you put you some pepperoni, and you seal it up, and you bake it, and then you take it out when it's almost done, and you put yourself a nice marinara sauce on that with some provolone cheese, and you put some more pepperonis on top of that, and then you just sit back and you just let the good times roll with that sucker. You put it on some angel hair pasta on the side. Oh my Lord, that's good eating. That's good.
Oh my goodness.
I do know how to cook. I do cook. Of course, here in the United States, I don't know about there in the UK, but here in the United States, men are taking more of an active role in cooking. I don't know what happened to the women. The old thinking was the woman stay home, woman cook, woman clean. No, that's been changed. It's what we do here. It's actually role reversal. And I love cooking. I do. I don't like the mess, but I love cooking. It says Dennis.
Yeah,
we definitely won't go hungry when we investigate with you then.
No.
Yeah.
As Dennis said, we won't go hungry.
No, you won't go hungry. I mean, I don't think you would want to move after you then got through eating, because man, I'll investigate my stomach for a while. Look how big it is. But I see this Dennis Glenn is asking, Howard, what are you doing in September? I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. That's being honest.
It's in September.
That's for us. Yeah. Can't wait for that.
What is it in September?
We got Bosworth Hall in September.
Oh,
which is
wow.
the festival named.
Okay.
So that's a weekend.
Yeah, they have lots of celebrity guests coming over. For the whole weekend. Which,
wow.
It's going to be like stalls and things like that. So it's going to be really
stalls,
good.
Meet and greet. It's going to be a very good week.
We're having something like that here in for Pun TV Paranormal United Network. Is going to be in Broken Bow, Oklahoma, and it's going to be a meet and greet type thing. It's almost like a Paracon type thing. They're going to do investigations and stuff. The same thing which y'all doing there, but as in September, I ain't got no plans. Why yet? If you want me to come on, I'll be more than glad to send me an airline ticket, and I'm I'll be there. I can't afford crap right now with this COVID thing. I'm barely can get the investigations I got going on right now underway. Matter of fact, I revamped my whole paranormal investigations team. We got new members coming in, and we're trying to get that taken care of and getting that all sorted, putting people in positions and stuff like that. Besides that, no, in September, nothing really going on. Now, October, that's Oktoberfest. Usually right around October, that's when everybody wants to do investigations, and everybody's worried because Halloween. Oh, let's go do this. It's spooky and all that stuff. And that's when, as paranormal investigators, everybody wants to be a paranormal investigator. But it's the other 364 days out of the year, that's they're not there. So those are the ones you want to take care of. That's the ones who's been with you the whole entire time. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. We are probably gonna have to end.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you ever so much for jumping in last minute.
No problem.
Brilliant.
And like I said, get in touch with me
top man.
after y'all finish, and I'll get y'all inked in for some shows. So
yes,
I'll ink y'all in. All right.
All right.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Nice seeing y'all.
Thank you very much for joining.
All right. Bye-bye.
See you in a minute.
Appreciate it. Bye.
Bye. So guys, thank you ever so much. Get my words out. up next at 11 o'clock is the Power Exchange with Shana Mokler. Hopefully you can join in then. Thank you for your time and speak to you soon.
Thank you very much.